Hello everyone, welcome to the video, and today we're going to be breaking down the new trailer that just came out for Apex Legends. It is a Season 5 gameplay trailer, so it features a lot of the new skins, locations, and things like that. But before we get into that, I just want to say that I'm sorry for not being consistent with my posting lately. I really have not been posting at all. I think I posted like one video last week, and that's terrible. I've just been really bored with Apex mostly, and I will be posting a lot more content as the new season comes out. So I will be going back to it, maybe not daily, but I will be trying to post as many times a week as possible. So be on the lookout for that. So we're coming back full swing. So I appreciate you guys. I know I've been absent and I'm sorry for that again. But let's get right into the video with the first picture up we have here. And this is basically right when the trailer starts. It comes in and you see Loba and Revenant. So obviously Revenant is on the ground and he is obviously dead. So this could be actually, because in the end of the trailer, if you guys have not already seen it, I'm going to spoil it a little bit, but in the end of the trailer she sees Revenant and she puts a gun up to him and she's like finishing him. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but this could be just like the end that they just show in the beginning real quick. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, you have Loba and a dead Revenant body. And then right here, we just have a couple close-up pictures of Loba and, you know, just what she's going to look like. And then it transitions out to a bigger view of a location. And this is pretty interesting to me because this is obviously, this was Skull Town, and this was also Thunderdome. So they removed both of those locations. It looks like they removed the town outside of Thunderdome, to the right of Thunderdome as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. If you can see by this picture, it kind of looks like a lot of that area is accessible. So I'm not entirely sure if you're going to be able to go down there. I really doubt it, but they could implement a feature where you could go down there. They could make the water pretty shallow, so you could walk across it, but like I said, I don't think so. It does look a lot like you can go across that area, so I'm not entirely sure, but if I had to guess, I would say no, they are probably not going to make that a traversable area. But either way, it looks pretty awesome. I'm pretty upset, though, that they removed Thunderdome, just because that was one of my favorite drop locations. And it looks like they definitely removed the town to the right of it. It looks like it's a pretty massive crater, and it goes right up to Gauntlet. So Gauntlet was not removed, but the entirety of Skull Town and Thunderdome and the little town to the right of Thunderdome, they're all missing now. And that's interesting just because I feel like that's such a popular location, so I'm not entirely sure why they did that. But either way, like they could have some pretty awesome plans for the future of Apex that rely on getting Skull Town out of there. So as you can see here, they're approaching a little pit, and from the looks of it, you know, Loba has her staff out. That is ending up being her ultimate. She puts that down. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but as you can see here, you know, they look down this hole and it kind of looks like a new area. So I'm not entirely sure if they're going to have a lot more underground passes and tunnels in the map, or if this is going to be an exclusive area for like some of the quests that are going to be coming up that they talked about, which could be pretty awesome because it looks like they are exploring it and they talk about exploring it. And then up next, they actually show a picture of new quest available, the Broken Ghost. So it says start quest, obviously, and it says mission 1. So they're probably going to be unveiling new missions constantly. They'll probably do weekly things with it. So like as they have weekly challenges, they'll probably be doing a weekly quest. And from the way that I've seen it, it looks like, as you can see here, it comes out of a supply bin. So from the looks of it, it looks like, you know, you're probably going to be getting it from in-game, you know, in the PvP aspect. You will retrieve it, and then you will probably be given a special game mode if you pick it up, where you can go into this PvE mode. And as you can see here, it says you got a treasure pack. So I'm assuming they're going to separate it and make the treasure hunting and quests entirely PvE, which I'm very excited about. I'm very happy that they finally added a little PvE. It really reminds me of Destiny. I didn't really play much of Destiny, but I like how they had that little separation where you can get gear and stuff in the campaign and by doing missions and stuff like that. So now let's talk a little bit more about the quest, because Apex Legends actually released some extra details, and it is titled The Broken Ghost. So I'm going to be putting the pictures on screen now of the stuff that they released. But basically it says Season 5 introduces our first quest to Apex Legends, a season-long search to find 9 pieces of a mysterious artifact, collect daily treasure packs in competitive matches of Apex Legends, max 1 per day to unlock rewards and new hunts for the missing pieces. So I'm not entirely sure if the treasure packs are only going to be in competitive. Um, Kind of looks like it, but either way, it says go on weekly hunts into Kings Canyon at night to retrieve pieces of the artifact. So this is again what I was talking about before with the actual moon. So it looks like they're only going to be bringing back Kings Canyon at night for the actual hunts, and this is probably going to go hand in hand with the treasure packs and stuff like that. So that's going to be awesome to see. And then it says brave the dangers solo or with a squad and make it back alive. While you can always join in on hunts, you'll only get rewards if you've unlocked the mission yourself. So I'm assuming if you pick up that treasure pack in competitive, you have to be the one that picks it up, and you can invite friends to play in it, whether you want them or not. Obviously, you can do a solo. I'd imagine it's going to be a lot easier with a squad. And then it says succeed in each hunt to earn more rewards and unlock serial chapters that tell the story of the broken ghost. What is this artifact, and why does everyone from the Apex Legends to Hammond Robotics want to get their hands on it? So I'm assuming they're going to be adding a lot more lore as well, which is exciting. And then it says recover all 9 pieces of the relic to unlock even more rewards, dive into the past, and uncover a secret that the Outlands might not be ready for. So it's going to be giving you a lot of lore, as well as obviously, skins and charms, as you can see by the one picture I had of the actual layout of it in game. So it's going to be giving us some lore, and it says uncover a secret in bold, so I'm assuming that's going to be a huge thing, a huge deal. So I'm excited to see how that goes. But basically what they're trying to do with this, and their goal in mind, is to make Apex a little bit more playable daily, so that the game doesn't actually get stale, and it gives you and the entire player base just more of a reason to actually get on, which I think is very, very needed. Next up, it says daily treasure packs. Treasure packs are a new lootable item that you can find in competitive matches of Apex Legends, so I'm assuming from this it says competitive, so it probably only is able to be taken or collected in competitive. I would have liked to see it pop up in actual public matches, but they're probably trying to get more of the player base to actually get involved with the ranked, so that more players, and they can get a more accurate representation of how the ranked system is running, because a lot of people believe it is flawed. So they're probably going to get as many people as they can to play it, just so they can see and kind of feel out how everyone is stacking up and how the actual ranked system is working, and whether it is working well or not. So then it says, unlike other loot, these don't go into your backpack. Instead, they're collected immediately on pickup, and you will get their contents when you return to the lobby after your match. So it's probably going to bring you into another game mode, like I said, and it's probably going to be just a daily thing. So it says the catch is that you can only collect one of these a day. Yep, I just said that. And it says if you come across another one that day, ping it for your friends. So you can see multiple of them, and you'll run into multiple of them, but you can only collect one per day. Then it says there are 45 packs to collect this season, and each one contains crafting medals, Battle Pass XP, Apex packs, or the ability to play a new weekly hunt for the next piece of the artifact. So this is very exciting. I'm definitely excited to see the PvE aspect and just these weekly hunts, because it's going to look amazing. So next up, it says to actually find and recover each missing piece of the relic, you'll need to get your hands dirty in one of the 9 weekly hunts. So there's going to be weekly hunts. And then it says these are quick and dangerous incursions into Kings Canyon at night. You'll get dropped off, make your way to a target location, recover the piece you're looking for, and rush to catch your ride home. But it might not be so easy. Dangerous prowlers threaten to cut your trip short, and you'll need to be on your toes and use any tricks in your Legends arsenal to survive. There might even be a few ways to turn the darkness back on itself if you're lucky. So I'm not entirely sure what that means. Just the darkness part, but from the looks of it, it is going to be exclusively Kings Canyon at night for when you're doing these kind of raids or hunts, as they're called, which is going to be pretty awesome. I like how they kind of split that up and make these kind of their own little thing with their own little map. And then it says party up and bring your squad along for some covering fire and companionship, or go into solo like the lone wolf you are. Solo players get a few automatic respawns if they're knocked out, while squad mates can pick each other up when the going gets tough. Complete each hunt to earn the next piece of the artifact, an exclusive weapon charm, and new chapter in the ongoing story of the Broken Ghost. You can replay any hunt that you've unlocked all season long, so have fun stress testing different legends and tactics. Enjoy arguing over which legend is clearly the best suited each week, because we sure do. The first hunt will be available on May 19th and can be played as soon as you've collected your 5th treasure pack. Subsequent hunts will be released 1 week at a time after that, until all 9 are finally available for you to play. So these are not going to be available on release, but instead 7 days after the season comes out, and you will have to accumulate what is it, 5 treasure packs. So you're going to want to get that done as soon as you can. But next up, it says a brand new story. As you recover pieces each week and assemble the artifact, the story of the broken ghost unfolds. So you're just going to see a lot more. I'm not going to read this entire thing because it goes into a lot of actual lore and stuff like that. But if you guys want to read it, just go to the Apex. Just type in Apex Season 5. It is on the actual EA website where you can read the entire thing. But basically, you're going to be exploring a lot more lore and getting a lot more exclusive and kind of like hunt cosmetics, and it even says a new charm. So I'm excited to see if they put a lot more cosmetics in here, because I do believe that there should be a way to get a lot of exclusive cosmetics and just overall skins and charms and stuff like that without having to pay money, because everyone likes free to play games and everyone likes being able to get cool skins for free. So I'm excited to see how this all plays out. So up next in the trailer, it actually shows us one of the artifacts that you get from the actual treasure hunting and the quests themselves. I definitely am excited to see how the quests turn out. Like I said, I think they might be weekly, but one quest might be a couple pieces, and it might take a little while to do, so I'm not entirely sure. So up next, we have the actual skins. It looks like a new Bangalore skin, and that is probably a new R301 skin, or maybe Hemlock. I'm not entirely sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it was an R301 skin, just because, you know, they are in love with that gun and they give it a new skin every single time. So as you can see here, there's also a new Revenant skin, which is golden and black, which looks very, very good. Then they have a new Mirage skin, which looks pretty awesome as well. So these are obviously going to be the Battle Pass skins. And then up next, we have actually the Wingman skin, and this one looks amazing. It has that kind of steampunk look that we've seen in the past with the clocks and the gears, rather, and it just looks amazing. It looks like there's a lot of moving parts, and I think that this is definitely going to be the max tier Battle Pass skin. So I'm assuming, as you can see here by the side view, this is probably going to be a tier 100 skin, and it looks amazing. I'm definitely really excited. As well as there's another Bloodhound skin on the ground. I don't know if that's a new one. It looks new, or it could be the one that we got for Season 1, the golden and white one. It could be that one, but if it's not, then it's probably a new skin. I guarantee it's probably new, just because they always feature new skins in the trailers and stuff. So up next, we have another view of Skull Town, and this is just the one from the inner side of the map instead of the outer. So obviously it looks like the entire area is like an excavation site, trying to, you know, rebuild it. And as you can see, they pick up the skull, and it looks like it's going to be a traversable part since there's a zip line going up to it. So they really did take a massive chunk, as you can see here from the map. They took a huge chunk out of it. So I'm excited to see how that actually plays out in the game, and if this is a huge hotspot like Skull Town was. So right up here, we have another picture of a new location, and this looks like it is right next to Relay. As you can see, I could be wrong about that, but it does look like it's going to be taking over Relay, which is awesome because, you know, whereas I did like Relay, it was a very, very unpopular spot, and the loot kind of sucked, and there was almost no reason to go to that part of the map because chances are you had to rotate a very far way to the circle, and the loot wasn't exactly amazing anyway. So the fact that they're redoing that area, which was extremely stale and much needed, I'm very happy about. I think that they're going to be doing a lot of reworks with a lot of the locations, so I'm very excited to see how this all plays out. But as you can see here, there's a lot of tubes going around, and I'm not entirely sure what they mean. As you can see by this next picture, this looks like, I can't exactly tell where this is going to be, but if you look in the background, you can see the Voidwalker Wraith portal. So I'm not entirely sure if that means that this is going to be by Repulsor or Hydro. I'd assume it's probably going to be on the other side, kind of near that relay like I was talking about. They're probably going to make that whole area just different and change it up. So this could be like by wetlands. I'm not entirely sure. It's very hard to tell in some of these pictures, but it does look like from the background that it could be in a couple different spots. So I'm not entirely sure yet. I guess we'll have to see in game, but as you can see by this next picture, it is a picture of Gibraltar, and he is you know, kind of working on a computer right here. So if you look closely, he's actually extracting an ultimate, and this is probably going to be in that same area that I was just talking about, where all the pipes lead to, and this is going to be an automatic ultimate. So if you are able to access this, you will get an instant ultimate, which can play out pretty awesome. I think you know, this is going to be pretty awesome for Loba specifically, because her ultimate, as you guys know, is the black market one, and she is able to get any loot nearby. As you can see by this next picture, it shows her using the staff and her actually using the ultimate, and guns appear inside of it. So I'm assuming it just scans it scans the area much like a bloodhound. And instead of obviously just seeing through walls and stuff, you're going to get any loot that it scanned will go to you if you were requesting it. So I'm assuming it's not just going to pull every single bit of loot. That would be extremely overpowered. But I'm assuming if you put a certain gun in maybe, or if you have a certain preference, it will pick that one. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work. I guess we'll have to see how it pans out. But it will be pretty interesting to see this instant ultimate and Loba interaction, just because I feel like that'll be the best person. And I think that's kind of what they made it for, is for her and for you to really get use out of that ultimate. So another thing I want to talk about is her actually pulling out a weapon from it. As you can see, she pulls out what looks like a P2020, and it looks like there's going to be a new skin for that as well. But next up in the trailer, we have her actually using her teleport or translocator device. It looks a lot like Sombra if you guys have played Overwatch. But, you know, basically it's an instant teleport, so I'm definitely excited to see how this pans out. I think Loba is going to be an amazing legend. I'm excited to play her mostly. I'm going to be grinding a lot of pubs this season and try to get my Loba up so I can produce a pretty good guide for you guys pretty early on. So just stay tuned for that. So this is the point at which I was talking about in the beginning, where she has, you know, Revenant and she's about to finish him. So this could be one of her finishers, because I know that in the Season 4 Assimilation trailer, they showed Revenant doing one of his finisher abilities. And, you know, the closer look at this P2020, it could be the white one. I think it's called, like, Lady Justice or something. But either way, it could be an existing P2020 skin. I'm not entirely sure. But this is probably going to be Loba's finisher. She's just going to shoot one of the enemies. So that completely wraps up the video. We went through the entire trailer. So if there's anything I missed, just comment it below. Sometimes there's a lot more than even what I see, and usually some people will be able to find out these little connections. So if you do know something that I didn't talk about, just comment it below. That's pretty much it for today's video, so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.